They just want you to sit in your chair and go hip hip hooray for the Western press and the Western narrative, regurgitating the same old every single day without which. Please watch the first 2 episodes, the second series. Look at that.
Absolutely fascinating.
And it was the first time the Beatles had really stopped being semi-professional almost.
Hi everyone. It's been a mad day today, to be honest. I've been listening to that Trump and his negotiations with this invisible Iranian. And the invisible Iranian has sent him 8 ships full of oil and an apology. This is the same. I'm telling you, he's demented. This man is demented. He's demented. And I'm fed up talking about him. I really am. He's got the world in a quandary. And there's no leaders. There's no leaders in the Western world to stand up to him. That's so annoying. They're just letting him get away with everything. But anyway, if you don't want to talk about that tonight, talk about whatever you want. Just let me know. Just let me know what you want to talk about. Because I'm pissed off talking about Trump. I really am. So listen, just if you want to talk about football, if you want to talk about conspiracy theories, if you want to talk about anything at all, just let me know, please. Because I'm up to here now. On my football pod last night, I get a comment came up. And all as I was talking about was this dope what we've got as a coach. Annie Slow. Just talking about him. Just talking about the good of Liverpool Football Club and what we need and what the vast majority of supporters want. And I had this comment come up, not from a Liverpool supporter, might I add. It was from an Evertonian. One word he came out with. One word that involves you if you're a Liverpool supporter and involves me. Every Liverpool supporter is involved. Can anyone guess what he said? One word. That's all. And that's why I've said, that's it. I'm doing one live podcast a week about Liverpool Football Club. That's all. One a week. It could be on a Tuesday or it could be on a Thursday. Because that's sickened me what was said last night. So have you got any idea what the word was? Just have a guess. One word from an Evertonian. Oh, little Mia. Hiya, Mia. Hiya, Mia. And there's Reto Fiaco, our wonderful Italian. And I suppose he was made up with the Azzurri last night, winning 2-0. Due 0. Good evening, Frank in chat says, Veni Vidi Viking. It's great. Good evening, Frank in chat. Good evening, Vinny. Or Viking. Hope you're well. And Owen Lee, evening, Frank in chat. Hope you're all well. Thank you, Owen. Thank you, Owen. Mia. What was said? I missed it, so I don't know what Frank is chatting about. Good evening, Frank and Legends. Glad to see you've embraced the YouTube grind. Good video today. Thank you. Do you know what? That's why I'm going to do. I've got a phone after the show, phoning Jason up, the producer. I'm going to do them 2 a week. I'm going to do 1 live pod a week. Your one. I'll let you know anyway what the format is. What the format is. And the armchair says, hiya, armchair. The cretin called us murderers. Disgusting. Thank you, you listened to. Good man. That's why I'm only going to do 1 a week. And I'm just going to record 2 a week. Like I recorded this morning. Right now, I'm going to go back, like tonight. I want you to talk about anything. Because I was at Heisel. And I was at Hillsborough. And it pains me. I'm no murderer. I've never been arrested for murder. I'm a good person. Like you're good people. And that sickened me last night. I was fuming last night. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep. So that's why I'm only going to do 1. To be called a murderer by a person from Liverpool, by the way, an Evertonian. I've had enough of that with them. And I thought we'd gone past that, but we haven't, unfortunately. So I'll tell you what I'll be doing, people. Let me just go through these polo. Thank you, Armchair, for that. Thank you for putting us up. Thank you. The Polo. Hi, Frank. Nice to see you and chat. Hi, Apollo. And the Armchair. Good evening, by the way. I love your show. Thank you, Armchair. Thank you. We're just ordinary people. I just mentioned Johan there. Johan is like myself. I'm a retired lecturer about the Roman Empire, the French Revolution, and the English Civil War, by the way, as well. I always keep forgetting about that. And the First World War. That's what I specialised in. And war poets from the First World War. And that's what I specialised in. And I love these things, honestly. Love them. Anything like that. The likes of cover-ups. I was into all that, you see. I was into all that. I just love to be alive in 50 years' time. When I first came on here, when I mentioned Trump, I'd love to know what's being written about him in 50 years' time. I'm telling you. Well, Steve. Sorry, Steve. According to John Toshak's son, he hasn't got dementia, only some loss due to a bad case of coke. Go away. I'm made up with that. I had a play, didn't I? I had written a play. And I had the cast. I had the director. It was all set. I think it was on the 28th or the 22nd or the 28th of June. Tickets were all printed. Then it was advertised. And the first night, second night, third night, fourth night, fifth night, sixth night, seventh night, because it was going out, was absolutely shocking. No more tickets. And he said to me, will you put it on again for an extra week? And I said, yeah, you know, because the people are clamoring for tickets. This is the play. I think it was more the cast than me writing it, to be honest. And he was directing it. And then COVID hit, and it was cancelled with lockdown. And that's one of the most disgusting cover-ups, shall we say. The lockdown. No need for the lockdown. The masks that the people were making a lot of money off, by the way, wouldn't save you anyway. They were phony. That was just to come out to make money out of you and me. And they locked everything down. And my play was shelved, unfortunately. And my director, Liverpool people know him, Jake Abraham. He was going to direct it and star in it. And unfortunately, Jake died. Not through COVID or anything. He had that horrible disease that begins with C. Prostate. Owen. Frank, I'm in two minds about where to visit tomorrow. It's either the Williamson's Tunnels again or Lancaster Castle, where I haven't been. Do you know where you want to go? And I think I'm going with my daughter next week. She's off. They're off for 2 weeks. And I'll tell you where to go. Owen, if you want. Don't go to Lancaster if you've been there before. But if you haven't been to this place, it's fantastic. Rivington Pike. Why Rivington Pike? Because what you see there, you'll be able to get it up on your, on your car, and I'll just direct you where to go. And with the kids as well, they'd be made up. Absolutely delighted. Jason, my producer, he went there a couple of weeks ago, that's all. And he brought his little grandson, and he was delighted with it. What it is, it's a replica of Liverpool Castle that was built here and pulled down in 1724. A replica castle, Liverpool Castle. So if I were you, I'd go there to Rivington Pike. Show them it. Or if you don't want to go there, go to Dove Cottage. This is where I'm going next week with my daughter and granddaughter. And who lived in Dove Cottage. And Rydal Mount, by the way, was one of our greatest poets, William Wordsworth. So you've got a choice or two there. Rivington Pike and the Castle, Liverpool replica, exact replica. Because Lord Leverhulme, he owned the land there. And it's on a reservoir. And he wanted to build a castle here in Liverpool, but they said, no, you can't, Where are you going to put it? Because there was warehouses at the time. This is at the turn of the 20th century. And he said, well, can I put it in Hillfoot? And he said, no. He said, no. That's earmarked for housing. You can't put it there. So anyway, he went up to his land that he owned at Rivington Pike and built the castle, the Liverpool Castle. So that's a good place for you to go. Or go there in the summer. I wasn't here, so I don't know what happened. But that's sad, says the lovely Mia. It is sad. I was fuming, Mia. I was fuming. And Ted's, Ted's? I can guess the word straight away, Frank. What the Everton fans said. Anything to do with our wonderful club praising them, the rats will be in the comments. The bitterness is an illness. It truly is. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it, Ted's. Didn't half upset me. I was at both Heysel, but I was sitting in the opposite stand to where everything was going on. But I don't want to go into that. And down at Hillsborough, I was lucky. I wasn't in the pen, but I was in the other pen. Because my mate said, hey, look at that, it's empty here. As the crowds were going in. So I went over that way, and we went in on the right-hand side. To our right, that is. To the left-hand side, if you're looking down at the ground. I hate talking about it. And that person hit me right in the solar plexus with it. Thanks for that, Seds. Good man. Thanks for that, mate. We don't mind, Frank, what shows you do. We love you. Thank you, Mia. Love you too, sweetheart. The retro. Sorry, Frank, I thought you spoke our language. Mi nonno, lui imparare me italiano, io quando bambino, ma mi nonno morte, io 5 anni. Lingua italiano, finito. Mi nonno morte. Lingua italiano, finito. But thanks for that, Retro Fiato. Great, that. And Goodison, no, yeah, it is a blue. I don't know what I was saying there, Goodison. One of your fans came on. I was doing a podcast about Liverpool. And he called us murderers. It hasn't stopped, Goodison. The bitterness, the hate hasn't stopped. That proved it last night. I was so upset I couldn't sleep. I never went to sleep till 8 o'clock this morning. Till I just zonked out. I'm not a murderer, by the way. And you can tell your fans that. I'm no murderer. I've never been arrested for murder. And as I said, I'm a good person, even if I say so myself. But anyway, hello, Goodison. You know what this channel's all about. Stay. Hi, Frank. The images and videos of Slot are a far contrast to Slot. People having selfies, signing autographs and wearing Liverpool gear with the badge. He doesn't live in Liverpool. He's a phony. He's a phony, Stay. Even the invisible man I call, Richard Hughes, he doesn't even live in Liverpool. He still lives in Bournemouth, him. But I was saying that all last night. And the Polo, our UFO, that I forget. Okay. Are UFO really just America technology stealth jets? And now we have AI drones. To be honest, Polo, no, they are not. You're getting pictures from a few, well before the stealth. There's an actual picture, one of the first pictures, when they started to come out in the 1840s, 50s. And you just see like a landscape with a couple of people. And in the sky is this object. You're talking 1848, I think it was. 1848. and they still can't figure out what this object was in the sky. And that's one of the very first photographs. I mean, just photograph anyway. And they tried, people were saying, well, is it a mark on the... No. It's a proper photo. They've analysed it. Everybody's analysed it for years. And they've all come out with the same, I'm not saying theory, but they've come out with the same explanation, that it's an object in the sky. And it wasn't little, it was quite big. Then you have the ones in the 30s, don't you, the 40s and 50s. This is long before stealth, Polo. I always remember doing a history show down at I was asked to do it, down at St. George's Hall. You know where St. George's Hall is. And anyway, there's a writer, and he's a smashing fella. Really smashing fella. And I was chatting to him one day. And that's this history show. When I was talking to him, like before the history show, I goes in to do like my little stint, and he's there, and he said, "Can I see your thing?" I went, "Yeah, what do you want?" And he said, "Can I use your I said, "No." I said, "No, because I'll be ridiculed." Now, at my age today, I'm not bothered. Anyone can ridicule me, as long as they don't call me a murderer ever again. Because I seen one myself, and I seen it in France. I seen it in the Dordogne district. Not just me, but a couple of friends I was with. An unbelievable size. Incredible size. And we weren't looking up at it. We were looking down at it. Because we were on an incline parked. We thought it was a crash, and we pulled over. And we were looking down at this thing. It was the biggest thing I've ever seen. I remember going down to the pier head. And when I went to the pier head, I went down specifically to see an aircraft carrier. And they are huge. They're massive things. You know, when you see them on the TV or whatever, or pictures of them. But when you see them in real life, wow. They are huge. Couldn't get over the size of it. And what we were looking at, as I said, in the Dordogne, was incredible. We were looking down at it. And this reminded me, you know, when I'm talking about years later, I'm talking about 15 years ago. The last time an aircraft carrier was down here at the pier head. I forget when it was. And I went down to see it. It reminded me then, going back to what I seen in the Dordogne district. And if you take two of them, or three of them, and put them side by side, or just line them up, facing that way, one behind each other. That was the size of this thing. And I have to be honest, I'm hopeless at estimating size and distance, really. And my friends 4 of them. 5 of us were going down to a place called Perpignan, south of France. And they were there. And one of them said, that is 350 feet in diameter. And we seen it down there. We were looking at it for about 6 minutes, not saying a word, by the way. No one was. And the other people who were there in caravans and cars and whatever, they were all looking at this. And it went from down there, up there vertical, into a blue sky, no clouds, no nothing. And it disappeared from there to there in 2 seconds. 2 minuti. 2 seconds. And Stephen says, the images and videos of Kloppback at Liverpool are a sharp contrast to Slot, having selfies, signing autographs and wearing LFC gear with them. I thought you meant, see, you get me mixed up. Well, that's the difference, you see. If you want a selfie with Slot, me and you, we'd have to go a flight out to Ibiza and look for him. Look for Beanhead there to have a selfie, because that's where he is, instead of being up at the Axe. Trying to work out how to beat PSG and Man City and to maintain the 5th place from Chelsea. Now he's in there. He's getting his head tanned. Barry, hiya Barry, Ian Frank and everyone. If this, is this weird? Is this the weird Everton fan? No. No, that's not him. Please believe that. Please believe that, Mia, not this lad here. No, what did I do, Mia? No. And you answer, Mia. No, Mia. That guy was called William Beck. Goodison is all right. I was trying to think of your name today, Clive. I was talking to Anthony, strangely enough. Anyway, hi Frank, hope you and your family are well and chat. Thank you, Clive. I hope you're well too. Really. And me, oh, sorry, I was just wondering. No, well, you know, I say I should have been more clear. Should have been more clear. Owen Lee. Rivington Pike. Saying, sure, you showed a little video of a couple of pictures. I'll put it I'll put it to the boss. Thanks, Frank. The kids, if you're going with the kids, they'll be made up. They'll be made up. What I'll do, it won't be a minute. Just give me a minute, Polo. And I'll go and get the pictures and I'll show you what I mean. I took these myself when I was up there with my students, going back a while. They could walk. And me said, I support Liverpool, but I also work as a nurse. on a critical care ward trying to save people's lives. But if that makes me a murderer, then so be it. Beautiful answer. Beautiful answer. Happy Friday, everybody, says Dennis Papera, all the way from Tampa. And Dennis is actually flying over for May to appear at the Cavern with his band, The Incurables. Should be a great time. The end of May, I think the 29th, 30th or something like that. He's appearing at the Cavern. So sad, by the way, most of my mates are there, are Evertonians, good banter over pints. Yeah, some low blows, yeah. Oof. I think you need to curtail your temper, says Reto. Okay. One day you will understand, so be warned. Your views have increased. Do not ruin it for yourself. So I've got a temper. I wonder why is that, Reto? Reto, why have I got a temper? Is it because what's going on in the world? Is it because of idiots? I'm not bothered. I'm really not bothered, Reto. If people don't like me, fine. I'm not bothered. But I'm not going to be shut up by anybody. You might think that I'm being harsh to you, but I'm not. I'm not self-opinionated. I just give facts. I don't believe in the Western press, put it that way. So I give facts. Don't believe in any Western media. I look at the alternative media. And when someone argues with me, what can I do? Can I just say, okay then, and let them carry on anything? The likes of football, calcio to you. Shall I just say nothing? If someone mentions about Gaza and they're all for what's happening there, am I supposed to say nothing? Am I supposed to say, okay then? No, not me. I speak for people. If they're quiet, I've just been watching something about, it's a Russian lad in Russia. And he helps Russian people. Just been watching it before I came in here. And there was a girl whose parents were killed. And she was put in an orphanage. And she was set upon. And the orphanage put her in this particular flat. Shocking it was. And she was set upon there by the neighbours. She's got a walking stick now. She can hardly walk. Only a young girl. And these people went to help her. It was heartbreaking. And it's on YouTube. It's shocking. This fella goes around and helps. And this young girl, I think she must have been about 17, 18. She had nobody, no family. As I said, her parents were dead. And she was living on her own in this horrible place. And she was set upon. She was bullied at school because she was on a stick. Put on a stick because she was set upon. Am I supposed to say nothing about that? Sorry, Reto. Sorry, mate. Dennis needs to run off to a meeting. We'll try to be back ASAP. Ciao. See you later, Dennis. Thank you. Evening, Frank, and all the chat. Thank you, Linda. UFOs painted into the background of old painting. Yeah, I forget that Anthony Brown knows him. This particular painter, Italian. And he actually put one up. You know, you're talking about the Renaissance, these people, these artists. You even have them in the south of France, actually. I've been there, the caves, and you see them on there, thousands of years old. UFOs. So there are things out there. We're not the only one. And don't forget what Einstein said. You can bend space to get from A to B. Ted's brilliant video you put up today, Frank. Thank you. Regarding Mo and the shambles that's going on at our club. My granddad, who was a top red, if he was still alive, would be shouting slot cues out from the rooftops. As I said, Ted's, I'm the old school, like your granddad. You see what I mean? I come from the Shankly era. And when I came from the Shankly era, I've seen people come and go from Shankly right up. I was sick when Bob Paisley went. I said, what are we going to do? I was sick when Kevin Keegan left. I said, what are we going to do? And what did we get? We just put in place, brought down from Scotland, Kevin Keegan, to replace Kevin Keegan, Kenny Dalglish. And what did we do when Bob Paisley left? We just put in place one of the boot room lads, Joe Fagan. What did Joe Fagan do in his first season? He won a treble that never gets mentioned. And then he left. Then Kenny Dalglish took over. And he nearly won a back-to-back double. We'd never won a double before, albeit we were in trebles. We never ever won a double, which is crazy. European Cups, everything. Kenny won us a double, nearly won us a back-to-back double. You know, without winning anything else, that is. Double, I mean. Bob Paisley never ever won the FA Cup. Sounds crazy, doesn't it? Yeah, he's the greatest ever British manager. Never ever won an FA Cup. shouting you, slotting you out from the rooftop. That's what I try to do. And Linda says, claimed all the 8 floors on a carrier. Jesus, my little legs. Oh, you climbed. Sorry, he said claimed. Climbed. Yeah, I couldn't do that myself, to be honest, Lynn. And the polo. Frank, can you describe that UFO you saw? What did other people say with you? I'll let you know in a moment. I'm just going to get these things for the U-Polo. I won't be a minute. I honestly, as quickly as possible, I'll get those photographs. Not of a UFO. Never took any of that. There was no mobile phones out there. Sorry there. I thought he had them in me. Got them here. Let's see. Bear with me on this. Sorry about this, people. I don't know if I've got them. I know I did have them. No, they're not in that pile there, unfortunately. No. I see they're here in this. If they're not, I'm sorry. These are photographs of the castle. If our Jason was looking in, he'd just put it up. Put them up. No, I haven't got them. They're not. Oh, yeah, they have. Look at that. There's one there. I took these. Yeah. I took these when I was with my students. Okay. Bear with me. They've been well there. But I'll just show you these. There's my students there, look. See that? There's loads inside, students. There's me in the middle here. Okay, now the coordinate, that's me there. Anyway, that's what you'll be looking at. Brilliant. Exact replica. And what it is, he built it as though it was a ruin, because that's what he wanted to do, build it as a ruin. So they're the 3 pictures I took. Polo. So there you go, mate. That's the best I can do for you. But if you want to go there, just go. Livington Pike. It's good. And Clive says, thank you for your service for the NHS, Mayor. Brilliant. Phil. Klopp looks unwell, quite frail. And Ted says to Reto, who needs to curtail their temper? Me. Curtail your temper, so you can't say anything. You must think that I worry about people tuning in. And I know that, a hell of a lot of people, they don't like, they look, but they don't like. I had like 3.5 K, and I only had like, I don't know, I don't think I don't know whether it was just over 100 likes. So why is that? Honestly, see, it's the algorithm. If they don't like it, fine. So why look? Some people agree, some people don't. I'm just an ordinary fella, as I said. That's to me. Linda. Known Frank for over 15 years. 15 years. He is definitely not like that. He is the nicest person. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Linda. Hello, Frank, says Janet. Hello, Janet. Tiger Woods in a very bad crash. Wow. Well, Tiger's been in a few crashes. So you've got to understand why, Mia. He's been in a few crashes, And over there, he should have been done when he was in a terrible car, rolled over and smashed into another car. I'm going back a few years ago. And because of who he was, they wouldn't give him a DUI. Driving under the influence, and he could have gone to jail for it. But you never learn, unfortunately. Mia. And Phil says, Frank, Vazia in the head, that's him. Just watched his latest video. You're 100% correct about the MSM. The problem is that once you see the propaganda, you can't unsee it. That's brilliant. That's him. Well done, Phil. Well, thumbs up for that. Did you see that girl? Oh, it broke my heart. If I was young enough, I'd adopt it. That girl is broken. She's broken, that girl. And she needs psychological help. She's a gentle creature. Young kid, about 17, 18. Oh, really upset me. Well done, Phil. Yeah. Vazia in the hay. think they could do a little bit more, you know. And the liver birds are retro. I think you need to be less disrespectful. How rude are you? Evening, Frank, and Reds, and Blue, and the Blues. By the way, just scrolling through Voodoo Tube, and there you are. Says the liver bird. Voodoo Tube. Voodoo. Oh, that's a cracker. I've never heard of Voodoo Tube. And there I am. So what do you think I am? Well, thank you, Liver. Thank you, Liver Bird. Bella. Buonasera, Franco and all. Buonasera, Bella. Buonasera. And Sheb. Hi, Sheb. What do you know? What do you think about alien and pyramids? Do you know what? When I was at university, I was doing some, this lecturer, he was absolutely brilliant. And I was doing the classics, you know, I was in the tutorial for classics. And I said to him, you know, I thought, and I said to him, who built the pyramids? And he looked at me, and it was well off the subject that we were doing. I'll tell you what we were doing. We were talking about the Iliad, Homer's Iliad, the classics, you know, Greek classics. Anyway, he said, why did you ask that? And there's what I said, no disrespect to what I'm going to say, by the way. I said, well, they've been copied, you know, carbon copied like 6,000 up to 10,000 years. They were built. And I'm going back to when I was a young fella at uni. And I said, even today's technology can't make them. Now, let's go back just a few years ago, about 5 years ago. And there was a professor on, and he said that they've been trying to, this is the last, he said, the last 35 years, they've been trying to build a pyramid, but a small one, and they can't do it. So I go back to my old, this fella, this lecturer, cracking, great he was. And I said, so who built them? I said, because you can't tell me that someone, let's pick a number, 8,000 years ago, came out and went, I think I'll do down there. Yeah, lads, come and do this. And build a pyramid that they can't build today. So that the beam of Sirius, which is like, you know, which is true, isn't it? The beam of Sirius would hit the top of it and bounce down right to the Pharaoh's tomb, hitting the sides. I said, and also the pyramids in South America are in line exactly with the pyramids in Giza. I said, so who built them? And he said to me, well, that's the question in 25 years, Sam. Don't be asking me. I'm only talking about the Trojan horse here. That's what he said to me. Never forget that. I'm only talking about the Trojan horse. I said, okay then. So, who built the pyramids? If I said that I don't think they were human, I don't know. I don't think, in all honesty, I really don't think that, you know, people around at the time could move tons of rock. Put it this way. He found a sarcophagus. I think it's between 5,000 and 6,000 years old. Think about that. 5,000 and 6,000 years old. Now, if we go back exactly now to 100 years, 1926, right? And someone came up with a computer and said, yeah, there's a computer. I can't even work one today myself, to be honest. But you go back, they'll say, what's that? What's that? The technology has so far advanced. It's even with the newfangled technology in computerism and whatever, it's baffling people who think they know about computers and IT. So they have to relearn all the time. So you could imagine going back 5,000 or 6,000 years ago, building a structure, not just one structure, but a few structures that they can't build today with today's technology. And to get thousands of... Each stone weighed tons. And they said, oh yeah, well, slaves pulled them, on logs, on soft sand. And another, I have to call him a dope, said, well, they had ships then, and they could put them on there. Those ships were like straw, bamboo, put like a 10-ton piece of rock on a ship. It was just sank. Because they said the river was going down there. You would have asked every person, this is true, this, you would have had to have every person on the planet at the time the pyramids were being built to be working on them and getting the stone in place. Every single person. So who built the pyramids? I don't know. But I don't think it was a few Middle Eastern people. No matter how brainy they were at the time. Look at the ancient Egyptians were incredible. Look at the ancient Greeks and Romans, incredible people. But it's all right making a fountain so the water springing out. I'm talking about the Romans. Fantastic. But you can build a fountain today. We see them every day. A fountain that sprays water. But can they build a pyramid? No. You got the sarcophagus. Pure it is. When they opened it, pure. Like glass. And they say now, even today, the only thing that could have made this sarcophagus 5,000 to 6,000 years old was a laser. One of the best lasers, they said, that isn't even invented today, albeit that there isn't a laser. There's not one mark on it. Not one. Whereas lasers today can make a mark. If you see what I mean. Jim, I hope that answers your question. In other words, I don't know. I don't know who built them. Phil, Frank sent you an email to get your opinion. A book about World War. Hope you get a chance to reply. I will, Phil. Jason will put it through to me. Or is that on the stream, the email address? Because if it is, unless you've got my email address, Jason will give it to me. Jason will send it through to me, and I will promise you. World War One, one of my favourite subjects. The subject matter is unbelievable, as you know, if you've written. And Janet says, does anyone hear the first play of Paul McCartney's new release on Radio Merseyside? I don't listen to Merseyside, unfortunately, so I don't know anything about it. I'll be told about it. I'll be told by Anthony on Monday night when we do the history show. So the play's about Paul McCartney. Okay. And Ted's to the Reto Fiato. Imagine coming on to a channel to tell a legendary truth-telling scouser to be warned. You silly prick. This man doesn't do it for the subscribers. He speaks facts, not sugar-coated for whips. Thanks, Ted. See, my school days are over. I used to have what you call seminars in my things. And I used to just say to them, say what you want. Be as angry as you want. Don't hold back. But use no violence. And don't demean people. And it was great. And when they were all leaving, you know, they graduated. And your seminars were great. Thank you. Every one of them. You know, when I held a seminar, that is. Besides doing what I had to do about the Romans or Napoleon. Or the First World War, for that matter. Okay, now you've got that polo. Sebastiano Melado. Yeah. Jacopo del Celio. 15th century paintings. You need to talk to Anthony, the artist. We're opening up at well, I'm not. He is. I'm just there as a speak about these people. An exhibition next month. Is it next month? April. At Port Sunlight. You want to see what he's done? I can't show you. I'd love to show you. Paintings. Incredible polo. I love Leonardo da Vinci. And when I first met Anthony, I was just chatting. I said to him, anyway, we were just chatting, and I just said, I love Leonardo da Vinci. And he does. Because we know about Leonardo da Vinci. Leonardo da Vinci could write backwards. Leonardo da Vinci, he's actually got he wrote on a scroll a thing. I'm going back to aliens here. He wrote on a scroll in a language that can't even be deciphered today. What's something, and I knew about this years ago, about this scroll that he wrote in a language that can't be deciphered even today, that he wrote. What's a thing called, you got it on YouTube, and it's called, I don't know whether it's just called Leonardo or Da Vinci, if you know what I mean, and aliens. And I watched it last week or the week before. But what I was pleased with and made up with was the scroll that he had, and it was mentioned. It was mentioned in this language. It'll be interesting to see, Polo. And Clive says, I'm off. Hope everyone has a great night. Thank you, Clive. And Reto says, I actually agree with you politically. However, your presentation skills do need a tweak, don't you think? I'm not here as a presenter, to be honest, Reto. You should know that. Don't Italians get excited? Because if my granddad, lovely man, and then, he died when I was 5, Cinque anni. And when he died, I remember being upset. And then you get the stories about him. An incredible man. Handsome man. An incredible man. And the rest of my family. Getting told about them. And one thing that I was told that he used to say is, all Italians get excited and they speak with their hands. Their hands flay about. And that's what I actually do it myself. Reto. That's what I do. So you're talking about my skills. I'm not at university anymore. People, as I said, Reto, if people don't like it, it's not like it. The Polo FA Cup ruins by Fergie 1995. After that, no one cared. Exactly, I said that. I don't know whether I said that last night or on one of my pods. One of my I've done 2 recorded podcasts, and I don't know whether I said it on that. I forget what I said. That he ruined it because he wanted. He said to the FA, "No, we're not playing in it," and that was it. That was 95 when he flew off to Japan to take part in a match, and that did ruin it. He undermined it. That's why the FA Cup to me, take it or leave it. The Champions League. I love the Champions League. I've always loved it. When I seen them win in Rome first European Cup. And the lads said to me, who went with the two of them, they said, this is going to be great. And I said, well, my ambition was always to, I was only a young fella. My ambition was to see the Colosseum and go in there. And they said, can you get a bevy in there? Is there any strippers on? And I said, no. I said, no, what do you mean? Is there a bevy in there? It's strippers. I said, no. He says, what is it then? What kind of a club is it? I said, it's a nation ruin. He said, I'll have to swear that, I'll have to swear. He said, well, fuck you in your nation ruin. We want to see. We want to go to the club and see some strippers. Only young, you see. What can you say? But coming back, he says, you see, you've got your ambition, haven't you? You've seen that thing, didn't you? They came with me, by the way. And took me photograph, outside there. Like that. I had black hair then, by the way. Long black hair. Anyway, he says, you've seen your ambitions, didn't you? That building, they couldn't even ask, the Colosseum, they meant. And Liverpool winning the European Cup. And I said, what an ambition. Fulfilled. Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Phil. Did you know that, Phil, I'm sorry. Did you know that Steven Spielberg, do you know things that he's done? Excuse me, I'll have to have a drink. Do you know things that he's done, the films, have always been based on fact, what he's experienced. Like Jaws. Close Encounters. His first film was about a lorry or something, this big truck, as the Americans call them, and it was going mad. Well, he experienced that. This lunatic on a motorway, they call them freeways, don't they? But it was only 2 lanes. People were terrified. And he was trying to get through. And he was hitting a few cars as well, side on, trying to take over them. So that was that based on that. The Jaws one was, they were out on a yacht with his mate. I think George Lucas was with him. And this thing come charging. And it was a big shark. And it hit it side on. They were terrified, and it was circling around them. It's the only film with 2 notes, isn't it? Great. One of the people says, what the fuck was that? Close Encounters. Great film, that. But there was one line in it which was absolutely mad. You see a fella, and Einstein was mentioned, and he said he could have been one of them. Einstein. No. Einstein just was Einstein, not an alien. And Janet, first track released from Paul McCartney's new album, Boys from the Dungeon Lane. Don't know, Janet. Don't know. I think I'm the only one who's seen the Beatles live. Me. I seen the Beatles live. On the Locarno up West Derby Road. My mate said, come on, let's bunk off. And we left for playtime. I said, where are we going? He said, to see the Beatles. Because we used to bunk off school to go to the library and the Walker Gallery. I said, hey, Beatles, what kind of Beatles? And I was the band. What kind of Beatles? Incredible. So I said, never couldn't hear them. All these girls screaming. Two little mug kids with school ties on and satchels. Really great retrospective album by all accounts, Phil, says Jeanette. As I said, you can talk about anything. I was talking about Paul McCartney. And Linda to the nurse, thank you very much. That's great, that, Lynn. The liver bird. Reto, seriously, this guy is a retired university lecturer. Thank you, Liver. It's the way it is. It's the way it is, unfortunately. My skills, presentation skills. He must have thought that I'd been going into lectures going, now listen, you lot. Which you did sometimes. I used to, if I said, I used to bring people around. But before I brought people around, I used to take my students around. Because I was asked once they said, listen, can you do some local stuff? I said, yeah. So we used to take them around Liverpool, to some historical sites. And you always get a couple always talking. I'm not saying what gender they were, but I'll let you guess. And when I was talking, and I knew that they weren't taking a blind bit of notice, they were just chatting away. And then I stopped. And then I just turned to them. What was the last thing I said? And I said it to my granddaughter once. She was sitting on the couch, on the chair. She always comes and sits on a certain chair and here. And she said, I was talking to her, but she was on the phone. On the phone. And then she looked up and went, yeah. I said, what was the last word I said? What was the last two words I said? She looked at me like that. Away, Granddad. This is the girl when she was little. And when her mother said, tell your granddad who your favourite player is at Liverpool. And she said, Mo Salad. And started singing Mo Salad all down the wing. Well, brilliant. And Bella says, you are a beautiful soul. Franco, it's just the Italian in you. You're passionate about things. Thank you, Bella. Thank you. Thank you so much. But, I'm not having a go at the lads or anything. I'm not that kind of a person. You know, he wasn't being nasty, was he? Just saying, I agree with you politically, just it's your presentation skills. See, if I never done anything, I've never been like monosyllabic, ever. I've never been. I think you've got to show some sort of whatever you're talking about. You've got to some sort of enthusiasm or passion. So you can't just sit there and go, "Nah, I think only slots should go to you." And I think that I don't know who built the pyramids, and another thing, when the First World War started, it never just started, in 1914. Do you know that? It started in. I'm not like that. I'm not like that. Never have been, never will be. And Janet says, first, oh, come on. Phil, there's a song called Days We Left Behind. So you see, Janet is my granddaughter's a big Beatles fan, by the way. She says, thanks. Thanks. And he's like, and little Zona like it's on it. Frank, free energy. It's there for the world. How evil that we've denied it. Yes, free energy. You can't get anything free anymore. You've even got to pay for the life thing, haven't you? And without that life thing, you won't live, and that's water. Water. Once everything gets privatized, everything goes. And everything, more or less, in this country is privatized. In the world, that's why you've got capitalism. That's why you've got deep states causing wars. They love wars. They want the resources. The most upsetting thing this year was Trump going into Venezuela. He's got a cheek him. Venezuela abducting and kidnapping the president of Venezuela and putting him in an American jail along with his wife. And no one has batted an eyelid. So if he could do that to him, he thinks he could do it to everyone. And he threatened Greenland, didn't he? He's threatened them. He's also, when he first came in, there was two things which got me. One was when he called the Gulf of Mexico, it's now going to be called the Gulf of America. That's how obnoxious he is. And what did he say about the Gulf of Persia? It's the Gulf of Arabia now. And they just told him to fucking do one. It's shocking. And no one's batted an eyelid. What he's doing. And what he's doing to Iran. What they're going to do. It's not happened yet, but they're going to do it to Cuba. He said Cuba is a threat. What? Cuba's a threat. But that's that Marco Rubio. They're a horrible bunch. You know, this Dennis Paparak who came on before, Tampa, he's coming over. These are ordinary Americans. But you do have ordinary Americans who know nothing, you know. They are absolutely they think America is the world. You might think that sounds daft, but it doesn't. They really think America is the world. They haven't a clue about other countries. All as they think of is their weather. They get the local weather on the telly. It's going to be -20 tomorrow. Heavy snowfalls. Or it's going to be in the mid-80s. It's going to be a wonderful sunny day. That's all they're interested in. How much is a gallon of petrol or a gallon of gas, as they call it? They go mad if the gas, their petrol's going up. So wait till it hits it. Then they'll go like that. Well, whose fault's this? And they go around. Trump. Maybe it'll wake them up. Abdul Rahim. Hi, everyone. Hiya, Abdul. Hiya, Abdul, mate. Polo. They reckon the Sphinx was a lion's head built under the lion. Astronomy, over 12,000 years old. Great floods degraded stone sculptures and wind. One of the sharpest instruments, believe it or not, in wind is sand. Cuts away. So you're right there, Polo. The Sphinx, they reckon that everything you need to know about pyramids and how they were built is there. And they can't open it up. There's a door. They can't open it. Think about that. The public email says to Phil. Let me see here, Phil. What do you mean? Yeah, I've got it here. Jason passed it through. I'll read it later, Phil. All right, I can't read it now, unfortunately. But I will read it, and I will reply. Good man. Jason sent it on to me. Paulie, evening Frank and chat. Hey, Paulie. Owen. Frank, just discovered in Lunt Meadow, a nature reserve by the Punch Bowl pub, a Stone Age settlement thought to be the oldest in the country. I will be going Sunday. Good man. I like all that. You know, where you go and visit in like certain places. I remember going to Hampton Court years ago. When I was in there, I was looking at the ceiling. And I said, we've got exactly the same ceiling as that. Exactly the same. Because our one was copied. Because the architect, Liverpool architect, he was looking at it when he was there at Hampton Court, and he went, I'm going to do that in a thing, and a commission that I get. I'll put that ceiling in my commission that I get in the future, he hoped. And he also looked at another thing down in London. And he says, and when I get my, if I ever get a big commission, I'm putting that in my building. That'll design. And he did. And I show people. See that? They all go, yeah. Yeah. Great. Good man, you. It's the lovely liver bears. Our lovely nurse. My question is, was the sand there when they were building the pyramids? Whoever built them, I hope they, as a... There is an interesting programme on BBC iPlayer about how they built the Colosseum. I watched on an AI thing about the Colosseum live. Fantastic. Really fantastic. You see, people get things wrong. See, I studied when I was at uni the Roman Empire, and Vespasian, he said to his people, you know, what you get your dad for his birthday? He's got everything. What you get? What you get him? And they said, well, don't know. You know, they were coming out with all kinds of things. You know, get him a boat. That's all what a boat. He's got one of them. Get him this, get him that. And he came out with the idea. So he got his architect in. He said, I want to give the people games. I want to give them everything that they'll enjoy. He said, I want to give it to my father as a birthday present. So he went, okay. He said, I want you to go and design it. So he went away, came back, drawing, and went, how about that? And he went, that's what I want. But I want a huge. So he said, okay. And he had to come back with a model. And he showed the model. And he went, whoa. So he covered it, the model. And he had it brought into his dad. He said, hey, Dad. Now, this is not mentioned in anything. And I've looked at the lot. And they don't even mention it. And he said to his dad, and he said, yeah, take that thing off. This is your birthday present. And he took. And his dad went, oh, that's great, that. And he said, but you won't see it because by the time it's built, you'll be dead. I'm sorry to say. And his dad said, oh, look at that, that's great. I'll have that in my room now. And what the model was, and what was built for him, was the Colosseum. And did his dad see it? Yes. He lived to see it because it only took, as some programs say, you know, these 4 years. The Colosseum. Bella. Paulie. I think our Italian friend's gone. Where's Anthony tonight? I sacked him. Got rid of him. He's not coming on anymore. Janet. I said to him, I was only talking to him before the thing. He said, I said, no, they don't like you, Anthony. No one likes you, mate. Sorry. So you've got to go. And he started crying. He said, but I liked them. I loved the chatters. I really do. And they don't like me. I said, no. It's the way it is, isn't it? The way it is. No, he doesn't do tonight, you see. This is not about, as I said at the beginning, Janet, this is, you want to talk about something, talk about it. Because I'm fed up with talking about Trump. Not about Iran, not about Gaza, not about Zelensky. Not about Starmer. Trump. So will be with me on Monday. I'm picking up tiny bits, but it's fun. She says, what are you talking about? Picking up what tiny bits? Oh, I see. Tiny bits on here. And the live about it, Janet. There's the England friendly against Uruguay on. I've got this. And the footy on. So, multitasking. Women are the greatest multitaskers on the planet. I can't believe how they do it. And that's genuine. That's a genuine comment. Genuine observation. Multitasking. I couldn't. Can't do anything, me. And Bella says, Paulie, you be speaking Italian soon. There you go. I think our friend's gone, hasn't he? Our Italian lad. He told me that I need presentation skills. He agrees with me, but I need some curve your temper. I haven't got a temper. But I just don't like fools. And that's when I get not nasty, I just got so animated by the likes of that Trump. The likes of that fella who called us murderers last night. Liverpool fans. Meaning the lot, by the way. Janet, I love the books in the picture library. The natural art books, undercover, are amazing. Yeah, incredible. The Audubon book, that's worth £53 million. Did you know that, Jen? The Audubon book. Paulie, I wonder how they set out the footings for the pyramids. So accurate, some science and mathematics going on there. And do you know what it's built on? Soft sand. Not hard sand, soft sand. And the the pyramids in Giza, they reckon that in 6,000 years has moved from when it being built 6,000 years on soft sand, has moved less than a quarter of an inch. Think about that. Think about that, ladies and gents. Leonardo was brilliant, says the liver bird. Liver bird, you and I must talk about Leonardo da Vinci. He used to persuade his mates to try out his flying, contraptions, off hills outside Florence. I love Florence. I love Rome. Rome is my favourite city. Florence is my second. I love Florence. Really do. And Paulo says, I love Caravaggio. He was astonishing. Frank, have you noticed these great people all have 3 or 4.5 names? These great painters, writers, explorers from Italy or Spain, you're right. When our little Sophia was born, I said to Francine, why don't you call her Sophia? Because me and Janet thought she was beautiful. Sophia Loren. So she's named after Sophia Loren. Right. And I was looking at something about Sophia Loren. And you've just mentioned names. And Sophia, that's a name, but it's spelt differently. It's spelt with the F. Sophia. And a surname, I can't even pronounce it. It's like a Sicilione. And one of her middle names is Brigitta. And this other name beginning with a V. Incredible. What a name. Long name she's got. So you're right there, Paulo. That just reminded me of a thing. I should have written it down, but I was lazy. What a name. What a name. And she only loved one man. And that was Carlo Ponti. And everyone tried to cop for it. Everyone. Even Cary Grant. Sinatra. Nah, wouldn't have anything to do with them. One man she loved. Carlo Ponti. Paulie, Bella, I'd love another language, but a word a week would do me for now. I love hearing you and Frank and Toscana and others chatting away in Italian. It's another world. It's another world. I love the French language. I think that's very romantic. My German language. Phil, It's said that the Italian men are great lovers. They say that Italian men. They said that the Italian men. Almost agree. What about the French? But you do see the very, like I'm very hands-on. I really am. And but the way things gone today, it's very inappropriate. It's very inappropriate. I had me Jared Sluds down the other night, and they brought me something, and they owed me. It's the way it is. And I always remember I was out there once, and I seen this fella, and I went, and he went, "Don't hug me." I said, "Why?" He said, "I don't like being hugged." I said, "Okay." The way it is. Polo, dual, film, Dennis Weaver, yeah. Spot on there, Dennis the Weave and dual. And that was an experience by the other fella, Spielberg. Was that the duel? Yeah, I think. Well, I've been terrified on expressway, says Janet, trying to get back to Prescott. It's dangerous. It's dangerous. And she says, my daughter was present. Have you got an affiliation with Paul McCartney? You keep going on about him. I've got a mate who meets him every year. He's here. Every year he comes up. Linda, would have loved to have seen the Beatles live. Was just born too late. Yeah. So it's a lot of other people as well. I want to see the Beatles. And Johan Toretto Fiato. How do you know so much about Frank's personality, politics, and presentation, especially considering the fact that your account was created just 2 days ago? There you go. Hang on. Come. Fucking hell. Frank, people used to have conversations like this on the pubs and end in hysterics. Oh, scrap. Paulie. Hello, Jeanette Darlington. Bet that was waiting for your daughter, says Paulie. There's Reto. Now, don't forget, this fella's thing, because Johan sorted it, was only done a couple of days ago. And he knows so much about me already. Maybe he's been looking at the podcast, I don't know. Frank, you have told us all I've never said that I'm intelligent. I've never said that. I've got an IQ of 172, by the way. Does that make me intelligent? 172. My IQ. And carries on. And educated, so please sound educated. I don't know why you're having a go at me. I really don't. So I've got to sound educated. Let up. Because I don't think you are the person you are. Let up. I think you're some other person. And Owen says the Egyptian antiquities bloke, Hivas, was the double denim demon. He knows a lot more than what they are telling us. I've never heard of him. Hivas, the double denim demon. He knows a lot more than what they are telling. Well, there's everything, isn't there? No matter what you read, no matter what you do, no matter how you look at things, there's a lot more to be said. There's a hell of a lot more. But they don't let you know what's below the surface. There's always an underbelly of everything. No matter what, there's an underbelly. I always remember me when I first went to uni, and I've said this before, my professor said to me, you've got to, it's like what Leo Tolstoy said, history would be a wonderful thing if it was true. Think about that. And when he explained, I understood what he meant. Leo Tolstoy. When he said that, because my old professor said, once you go through and you pull them back, and you, excuse me, you pull them back, the layers and layers of propaganda, you come to the wall. And on that wall is the truth. The written word, the truth. Truth. Then you break down the wall, and there lies the truth. And it's only what Leo Tolstoy said. History would be a wonderful thing if it was true. Because what he said, or what he meant, that there's so much propaganda. You've only got to look at Trump. You've only got to look at Trump. Does anybody believe that he's negotiating with some invisible person and they've sent him a gift of 8 ships full of oil and an apology after he's bombing them and missiling them and sending troops to go on a Carlyle or, into Iraq because they're just waiting for them? And what did the Hesketh say? The Secretary of War, that complete and utter greasy oaf. We'll negotiate with bombs. He's actually come out along with Trump and said, we'll kill them all. Not kill them all. Kill them all. We'll kill them all. Typical American. Kill them all. Think about that. Paulie. Could Leonardo write with both hands at the same time, or have I had too many painkillers? No. Yeah, he could. Believe it or not, my old teacher, a Mr. Stringer, he came to one of my lectures at St. George's Hall, and I was in awe actually, because he was sitting there, my old teacher. And I've never seen anyone do this. Writing sentences with both hands. So you're right there, Paulie. Incredible. Ambidextrous, as they say. Lindsay. Sorry, Trump thinks he can govern the world. No, what he does, he thinks, doesn't think he wants to rule the world. And what I'm afraid of, and it is scary, I'm being honest here, is how can I put this? He's got all the codes of nuclear bombs, and he's got a finger. That's what I'm afraid of. I think he's mentally unstable. I really do. That's all I can say about him, without going into a tirade. He cons everybody. And Phil, the Yanks paraded Madero through New York exactly the Romans did when they captured kings, were brought back to Rome. Yep, spot on there. He had to open that. And yet the Americans did it. Why didn't someone say, no, we can't be doing this? Why didn't they say it? Humiliating a leader of a country. And what was his excuse? Trump's. He's sending in drugs. I've just been watching a program there yesterday, I've been watching about Philadelphia and other places. And this was in California, this one. And I see the drug people there. And, this fella's going around giving them food and what do they spend? They do get money. So what do they spend the money on? They're all drug abusers. I commented. If I was walking down that street and I just seen one of them and I said, here, here's $100, what would that $100 go on? It would go on drugs. You should have seen the state of them. It's shocking, like. But that's a drug abuser. I have to go. Good night, Frank. And everyone says, little Linda Ellis. Good night, Ellen. Yeah, now here's one of my old mature students, Ellen Hudson. We walked all over Liverpool when we went on our weekly tours. So I think we got our fair share of exercise. Says Alan. Oh, he used to drop me off home, Alan. He used to drop me off home. afterwards because I had my licence revoked. And it wasn't through drunk driving or anything. It was just because the way I am. The way it is. Thanks, Alan, for that. Paulie, it was one of the proudest times of my life. That's so. Yeah, good. That city is always good. She's working on it. Excellent stuff. I love Anthony. I'll tell him that, Jeanette. Don't love me, though, do you? I'm going to tell Mr. Brown about everything you said. Dissect him. Johan, you want to see what he's done? I'll get him to send you an email. We love Anthony Brown, says Johnny. Well, that's the end of you, and that's the end of... I'm going to block Janet and you, Johnny. I have to. I'm sorry. Because... Don't put yourself down, Frank. Oh, you just saved yourself there. The Italian fella is an ignorant Blaze. You just saved yourself again. Bella. Franco, at 8, I was enthralled by Egypt. My Wales was a golden landscape of pharaohs, pyramids, and ancient mysteries. As I said, you built them, Bella. Oh, wow, brilliant show. City is ours. Your daughter enjoys her work, says Paulie. No, she doesn't, actually. She doesn't like it. It's the test pot. It's the test pot. Yeah, Ted's. It's the test pot. Reto Fatto. Theato. The Everton fan from last night with a different username. He seems to only be on here. I know who it is. Antagonise Frank. That's what these bitter weirdos are known for. You'll find out who he is in about 2 seconds. Watched the documentary on Dome of Florence the other day with Alexander Armstrong. It was mind-blowing. The Dome of Florence. It's the first dome ever to be completed. Owen, the first dome. Because the Pantheon in Rome that was designed by Emperor Hadrian. They couldn't quite close the dome, but that was there. And inside the Duomo, you'll see the very first clock ever. And that's who that is, Snapey. Because I blocked him. I want nothing at all to do with him. And he keeps going. He came out the other day with a girl, like a thing named Dolly. Must think that was stupid. He must think that was stupid. So he's trying to have a go at me like that, you see. I love Snapey. Go and love yourself, fella. Because I want nothing at all to do with you. You're a phony. You're a fella from fucking Stoke. Stoke with a terrible accent. or so go away. Okay? You're phony. A footy note. Wirtz 2 assists for Germany and Virgil scored for the Netherlands. Why can't they do that when they are wearing red? Says the liver bird. Because we've got a fellow by the name of Slot who's how can I call it? Now, rather than swear, he's just so incompetent. And my daughter said on Facebook, "That's me dad." Who? Who's your dad? Who's your dad? Is your dad on Facebook? Well, why does he come out? Why can't people just come out and say things? You know, I don't know why. My daughter on Facebook said, "That's me dad." Who? Caravaggio. That snake fella. I don't know what you're talking about. Nothing will grow without rain, says Paulie. Nope. Exactly. And Polo, Mr. Retro, is a burner account for a starer. Yeah, it's Snapey. Stephen Snape. That's who it is. He came on last week or the week before under an assumed name, you know, a female, Dolly. You should apologise to Snapey. You knew it was him. That's why I kicked off and said, "Fuck off, I'm not fucking apologising to him." Having a laugh. And live a bit to Ted's. I was thinking though, we probably shouldn't be feeding the troll. Yep. I've always wondered why every war has been won by the good guys, says Owen Lee. Frank, I know you're not the one for video games, but Carlyle was a map in a game called Battlefield 3 released in 2011 or so. The propaganda is present in that medium of entertainment as well. There you go. They're waiting for them, aren't they? Johan? Not to mention that the kids who played that game are of military age now. And he's sending them there to be blown up. Janet, any gossip about the city of ours? Oh, I need to finish, boys and girls. Frank, says the liver. Florence is, oh, is it? After Liverpool, my nonna has a house about, go away. As for Trump, the worst thing Scotland exported was Trump's money. Do you know what, Liverbirds? Dame Maggie Smith, who recently passed, she was doing a film with Dame Judy and the other girls. And I think it was a Stay with Mussolini or something like that, done in the 30s. About the 30s, not done in the 30s, about the 30s. And they were in Florence. and they were filming there. And guess what? Dame Maggie bought an apartment there. She loved it. And she lived there. Florencia. I love it. Love the Duomo. Love everything about it. And me and Anthony, or Anthony and myself, will be there come September. This is so I'm getting my ten back, my mojo back. My mojo. And because Anthony, the artist, he's never been, so we've decided to go to Florence, Florencia. And Janet, I love you too, Frank. Oh, thank you, Janet. But Donna doesn't. See? Little Donna Taylor. Do you think on a slot, hang on, is that Gary Morgan? Oh yeah, Gary, sorry there. Do you think on a slot is done? Yeah, it's gone. Yeah. I'm telling you now. I tried to explain on, I've got to go, you know. I've got to phone Jason up, the producer. I'm going to tell him a few things. Do you think, yeah, he's done, Gary? He's definitely going, so. But you won't wake up in the morning and find, you know, breaking news. But he has gone. I'm telling you. Could be sooner than the end of the season. Could be. It depends on a couple of results. I was told that. And he does it, Gary, I don't know whether you listened to me before, but he doesn't even live in the city. He lives in Manchester. So we can get to Manchester Airport quickly to fly out to Holland. And he flew out to Ibiza the other day. Darling, Frank, forgive me. I love you. Oh, I love you too, little Donna. I visited the museum in Florence dedicated to Galileo. Ooh. Galileo telescope. And he had a friend. And his eyesight was going, well, you know, going. He said, I can't read. I can't see the picture properly. And he made him a pair of glasses. Think about that. Pair of glasses for his mate. A telescope to see the stars. As I said, watch your documentary. Da Vinci and the aliens. You'll get it on YouTube, honestly. She was referring to Paul McCartney, joking. Oh. Franco, tonight is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. That's our Marshall, that, isn't it? Hey. Frank, I don't know if it was intentional, but the comments are disabled on the Mo video. Oh, go away. That's shocking, though. He's such a lovely man, you know. I'm getting off Sophia. She's got a Mo Salah shirt. She's had it for yonks. I'm getting I know I'll have to get in touch with her. I've lost his bloody number. So I'll get in touch with him because she wants us, she's got a Mo Salah shirt and she wants his autograph. My little granddaughter, so I said, I'll get you that. And the beautiful Bella. Buonanotte Franco and all. A tutti. Thank you, Bella. Do you know how I got hold of Snapey before? Remember, he said, he put up Italian. Obviously, he's got it translated into Italian, what he was saying. And then I ignored, I just said hello, like, you know. And then went down, but I spoke in Italian. And I spoke about my granddad, my nonno. Che vuoi imparare me la lingua italiana? And quando ero bambino. And he never mentioned anything. That's how you know. He couldn't quite interpret what I said, you see. So he could translate. You see what I mean? The Snape. The snidey Snape. And you wanted that. You wanted the other fella, Anthony, and myself about Snide. I've met Snide. So was Anthony. And Anthony's a fantastic artist. Fantastic. And you wanted Anthony and myself about snidey people. Snides. And the live. My favourite is the Santa Beanie. I was only live about. I was only talking to Anthony about it, but I'm talking months ago. I was only talking the other day about Santa Croce. And I went in there, and I was like, I couldn't believe it. Michelangelo, Leonardo, Dante, Machiavelli. I couldn't believe it. The tombs. And people must have thought that I was mad because I was hugging them. Even when I went to the Colosseum. As I said, I went in 77, sorry. Went in 77. I've been in there, went all around. Great. And anyway, when I used to go, when I was, with someone, I never, until she said one day, why don't we queue up and go in? Because a massive queue to get into the Colosseum. Because what I used to do, I used to go over, by the, when you can get there, getting there. And I used to feel the wall. Used to touch it. And people used to go, look at me, So I did, this fella's a lunatic. Look at him. And he must have said it about the Santa Croce Church as well. Live, we've got to talk. We have to talk, sweetheart. I mean that. Frank, like a lot of Liverpudlians, you're naturally gregarious. No chance of a short shift in your show. Frank, have you ever done a show on World War One? I'd love that. I'll do that, Ted. I'll tell you when I'll do it. I'll tell you when I'll do it, Ted. If you want to join us, Anthony and myself, we'll do it on Monday night. I'll leave you with this poem. And this poem sums everything up, and it's by one of the greats. Bent double like old beggars under sacks, knock-kneed coughing like hags we curse through sludge, till on the haunting flares we turned our backs. Men marched asleep, many had lost their boots, bloodshot, all went lame, all blind, drunk with fatigue, deaf even to the hoots of gas shells dropping softly behind. Gas, gas, quick boys, and ecstasy are fumbling, fitting the clumsy helmets just in time, but someone was yelling and floundering like a man on fire all night. As under a thick green sea he plunges at me, guttering, choking, drowning. If in some smothering dreams you too could pace behind the wagon that we flung him in, and watch his white eyes writhing in his hanging face like a devil sick of sin. If you could hear at every jolt the blood come gargling from frothed, corrupted lungs, obscene as cancer, bitter as the cud of vile, incurable sores on innocent tongues. My friends, you would not tell with such high zest to children ardent for some desperate glory. The old lie, dulce et decorum est, pro patria mori. And when you think about that, that was the horrors of war. Wilfred Owen. The horrors of war. Because it wasn't all like, if I should die, think only this of me, that there's some corner of a foreign field that is forever England. Nothing like that. Because that poem, Dulce, it's not sweet and good and glorious to die for one's country. In fact, it's a horrible way to die for one's country. So yes, Monday, I'll do that, Ted. Owen Lee. Bella, good night. Gets her a retro Steve Gerrard shirt. She just loves Mo Salah. She has from a thing. But an update, Bella. Ted. Match fans going now will be backing Salah to the hilt. What's your singing our heads off for him at every match now? This situation has poured even more petrol on Slot's position. Yes, great shout. Definitely a cultured crowd, dear say. Yet they are the lovely. They are. They're well lit. They're well up. They're well up, like yourself, Phil. That's why me and Anthony love doing this. I was fuming last night, by the way, because two people were supposed to come on and they never came. I wanted to do history and I would have been doing it last night. But get hold of me on Anthony on Monday. We'll do the first. If you think the first, honestly, look, seeds are sown for the First World War. Seeds are sown, and these were sown years before. The first term, for example, of Trump and Iran was sown in his first term. But they've always been wanting Iran ever since the Shah of Persia was bumped off the throne. Not killed, but bumped off, get off. Because they have a son, don't they, standing in the wings. This is why they want him gone, because they want the oil. They want the natural resources. And he thinks we're stupid, and we're not stupid. Any films recommend apart from Da Vinci Alien Talk? Johan. Yes, The Interpreter. There's a film there's a film. Johan, I'll send. You've got to watch this, and I forgot the title. I'll send you an email right away after the phone. The other fella. I'll send you an email to watch this particular. Oh, it came to me then. Johan, it's a cracking film. You will enjoy it. You will enjoy it. Phil, what time? Monday, 7 o'clock as usual. Phil, the liver bird. I have to go and get some sleep. Legends game tomorrow. I need to be match ready. Great night again. So glad you came up on my scrolling. Sleep well, all. You never work alone. Enjoy the game. Ah, she's gone anyway. Yeah, got the town off there. You mate. Even the live bird, you're lightweight. I like that. And the live bird say, P.S. Did you know that the architect for the Santa Croce was Jewish? And he's buried under the steps in the front because he couldn't be buried inside. That's a great point, though. Brilliant point. I could tell you loads of things. I went to Monte Carlo, not Monte Carlo. Why did I say Monte Carlo? Never been to Monte Carlo. Must have been in my dreams. I went to Monte Casino and it blew me away. And I seen a model, and it was the only thing that wasn't destroyed from when it was first built. The only thing, and I was, and this priest came. I don't know whether he's a priest or a friar or whatever he were, a monk, and he said, "You look fascinated." I was looking at this model. I said, "Yeah." I said, well, "Why is that the only thing standing?" And he said, "Because of that." And what was behind me was the altar. And in the altar was a big chip from the marble where a shell came in, hit the altar, took the chip out, fell and slid along the floor because you'd seen the mark. The shell wasn't there, obviously. And anyway, it was the mark. He said, and that mark, he said, it's hit the wall after hitting the altar. I said, and it never exploded. He said. And I said, any idea? He said, yeah. He said, because who's buried in the altar is Saint Benedict. Wow. Love it. Love it, as Kevin Keegan once said. Good night, God bless, Frank. Good night, Johnny. Love you, because you said you love me. Thank you, Johnny. Wow, incredible poem. The Horrors of World War One, the working classes massacred. Yes, we'll definitely be tuning in Monday night. Okay, Ted. Good man. Good night, everyone. I've a cheesecake to demolish. Love cheesecakes. Love them. If you really want to get into the YouTube grind, we could clip the narration for a YouTube short. If you really want to get into the... Go have a word with her. I'll tell him to get onto this, what you've just said. Johan, you're all talking about Jason. That's a crack at that. Thank you. What a man. Frank, was it World War One, the saying, lion? Yep. Yep. Was Owen. Interesting and diverse tonight, Frank. Say Barry Aldrin. Thank you. It was. The Liverbirds. Wilfred Owen lived in Birkenhead as a child. He was actually born Liverbirds. He was from Oswestry. And he was actually killed exactly a week before Armistice on a bridge. He went up to Craig Lockhart where he met Siegfried Sassoon, another great poet. I know all about him. Know his poems. And when you think of it, Anthem for Doomed Youth, what passing bells for these who die as cattle. First two lines. What passing bells for these who die as cattle. That means the church is even blessing them going to die as in a slaughterhouse. Shocking. And Gary Morgan, bring back Jürgen Klopp. Yes. The big Jürg. Gianna, visitors, yes. Thinking Cap. LeBron James. PDF file. Look into that truth, Frank. Yeah, he was with that P. Diddy as well, wasn't he? And I wanted to, I mentioned this, to be honest. Think again. Thinking Gap. I actually said he needs to be thrown out of Liverpool. We have nothing to do with him. I remember going to a game when I could, and I seen this massive thing posted him, bigger than that place. I said, what the fuck is he doing? Why is that there? I was fuming, I was. Oh, yeah, I know what you mean there, thinking. Should be thrown out. But that, our owner, John Henry. Do you know that John Henry said, he bought shares? He fucking didn't buy shares. He never gave that. He gave them for nothing. So he could advertise You Never Walk Alone on baseball, not baseball. Yeah, no, what is it? Baseball, is it? I don't know. Baseball. What did he play? Netball, you know. On his vest. You never walk alone. Shocking. And that's why, and he made £31 million in his first season. So you can imagine how much money's going into FSG. LeBron James. Hang on. Final episode was bad enough for me. That was the most poignant thing of any series, any series. Harrowing Blackadder. That's that last one. LeBron said, ain't no party like a Diddy party with his tongue out on a live stream. Yeah. He should have been doing years, that Diddy. P. Diddy. A lot bigger picture. Monsanto, Bill Gates' company. Yep. Bill Gates. Fucking hell. Phil. Frank, the UK is the #1 country for foreign investment by Americans. Yeah, look, vassal states. Yeah, of course it is. BlackRock's here. He invited them over, Starmer. Get over here. Come on, you'll be all right here. BlackRock. Good night, guys and girls. Good night, Janet. I'm going to finish on the last one. Frank, I've been watching Sharp on YouTube. Forgot how good they were. Do you know where they actually filmed it? In Russia. Because I did some recon for, not in Russia, for Sean Bean about a church here, you know. He was playing a priest. And my old mate, he was in it as well. He was going to star and direct me play, Jake Abraham, and he's dead now. LFC, as a joke, says the thinking cap. Yes. But the other fella, Slot's got us like this. Keeping the truth, the Celts quit and suppress. Boss Frank. Keeping the truth, the Celts quiet and suppressed. Yes. Love to visit Russia and Iran one day. You can just, I was only streaming Iran, and this was actually done in February. And last year I was streaming it as well. And you know, all the propaganda coming out about them, that women and girls have to go around with all those other bollocks. Great show as always, Frank. Looking forward to Monday night now. All right, Ted. Looking forward to seeing you. And Owen, good night, Frank and chat. Thank you for your company. No, thank you, Owen. Don't forget Rivington Pike. Great show, Frank. Thanks. Forget the football, Frank. A game of ball. Idle chit-chat. Idle worship. Deep understanding of emotional energy. Well, I've got to finish. Thank you so much. See you all on Monday. And thank you so much for keeping me company tonight, you wonderful people. Ciao. Ci vediamo. A lunedì. Ciao.